So during my third year in college, I have I was having issues with the family. Uh, there were issues in the friend group, and basically what happened towards the end was I had no one to talk to. Like I used to be extremely depressed and just plain old lonely. Like I would just have no one to speak to, and like really I had lack of motivation to even reach out to anyone also. So like just plain lonely, really depressed, really down bad. And at that time my college offered like a therapy services to its students. So you could go online free therapy, and based on the questionnaire I got a therapy like next day or two. And when told the whole story to the therapist, what happening, how I'm feeling, the thing the therapist told me was, hey man, I understand you're feeling like it's normal to feel this way. Why don't you go up to someone, so like go to student union and be like, hey man, I've been feeling really depressed, lonely, I don't have any friends. uh can I'm having a hard time integrating with the social circle. Do you mind if I sit down with you for a coffee? Do you mind if I talk to you for a little bit? Do you mind? Will you be my friend? That's literally what the therapist told me. Like that's the advice. Like that's the advice you get when you go to a therapist. So I went to. So, long story short, I never actually used that advice. But like looking back, now that I think about it, that's a horrible dumb fuck advice. Like never do that. And I'll explain why you shouldn't uh, go up to people and be like, hey man, do you want to be my friend? Like why you should not do that. Like number one, like most people are like make friends because like they vibe with each other, like they got things in common. That's if you go up to someone and be like, hey, will you be my friend, that's like basically begging to that person. Like you're basically begging like, hey man, can I get a change, can I get a little bit of friendship? If someone comes up to me and if I'm having my lunch in the student union court or anywhere in public, I'll be like, what a weirdo that person is. And the way we make friends is by not really like by talking to each other one on one. So like guys, especially guys, like we don't go up to each other and be like, hey man, let's hang out. We got nothing to do, and all we do is just hang out and vibe, and we talk about random things, talk about politics, talk about general ideas, general topics, like which really don't matter. Like random things, like you talk about food, the new movies, or the music, or politics, or you can't really run out of the general topics to think. But like that's not really how male friendship work. So if you're lonely, if you're in the same problem, the advice I would give to the younger self would be the way the what you want to do is find. Okay, so there are many levels to not levels, like different types to curing loneliness or relationships. So like if let's talk about the family one first. So if you're having issues with the family, like you don't have to cut things off completely with anyone. So the one thing like the modern therapy is going to talk about, like the childhood trauma, like it's all your parents' fault, it's your everyone in your family has caused you trouble, and the core instinct you get is like, oh, I'm going to cut off all the ties. And this is not to acknowledge you didn't had any you didn't had a shitty childhood or you had any problems, but you don't have to go in the very extreme of it. So the first thing would be like, you don't have to like cut all the ties and be like no contact. You could have, you could do a moderation. That's a more ideal, like have better boundaries with them. So for example, I'm really close to my mom. I talk to her every day for an hour close. I'm not that close with my grandparents. Like, I'm less close compared to my mom, so I speak to them like once a week or once in every 3 or 4 days. There are I have siblings, so I speak to them once a month. I have cousins every other major holiday, so like once a quarter. I have really long distance relatives, so like once a year in Diwali or like any major festival, or if I run into them in any normal social gathering, I interact with them. So that's one. First thing is, if you're lonely, you probably want to reconnect back with your family. So, and don't go down into the modern therapy idea like you want to be no contact with them, do extreme shit they suggest. No, no, no. You want to be like, as I talked about, have boundaries in moderation. Different relationship needs to be managed differently. The same thing is going to apply to your friendship. So I talked about families, and now let's talk about the actual friends you might have already have or might have lost contact with them. Maybe you don't vibe with your friends anymore. Maybe you don't vibe with them to the same level. But that doesn't mean like you need to go no contact with them, like break all the friendship. No, no. You want to have like at least some form of friendship. Like maybe you had the same class back then, and you don't anymore, but like you still might want to reach out to them and have uh, connect with them. And like, what do you talk about when you connect with them? It's like, give them your life update, what you've been up to, what's the initiative goals you've been working on, what are your thoughts on different things. Like, just knowing like there are people out there who care about you, that's more than enough to like cure loneliness. And you might be like, well, I can have a long distance friends, or like, I think well, I'll get to that in a second, but like, let's talk about the woman third. So I talked about family, male friendship, and let's talk about romantic relationship. Same thing with your friends. A romantic relationship doesn't need to be like, she's the love of my life, she's the woman I'm gonna marry, she's gonna have my kids, that's the only woman I talk to. If you're a single guy or a single woman, like, the partners you have in your life, like, it doesn't need to be that extreme. Like, you don't have to be fully single or fully committed. It's like you could have things in between, like a woman you hook up with once a week, a woman you hook up with once a quarter, woman you hook up like once you visit that city. like there is so much middle ground in it. So I think the first point overall of this video would be, have like a middle ground. You don't have to go no contact or be in the very extreme of it. Another way to put this is, you could have relationship with people in moderation. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. But so that alone, like that first advice I've talked about, having relationship in moderation, boundaries which are not too extreme, will solve most of your loneliness problem. But then there might be a scenario where you don't really have anyone close to you. You really suck with having close friendship, close relationship with your family or friends or romantic, any of that kind of a scenario. And that's a scenario, then there is not really any pool of applicants you could pick from. In that case of scenario, you might need to recruit other people to bring into your life so that you could have a closer relationship. So as guys, as men, we don't normally make friends like the way women do. Like, women could just talk about random stuff, like going back to the original topic of just talking one-on-one, vibing with each other. But like, as men, we make friendships shoulder to shoulder. So if you have someone, like, what ideally would happen is, you want to have a similar activity, a common activity you both enjoy. So it could be a sport, It could be going to the gym. It could be working on your career. Maybe you're a startup founder, connecting with other founders. It's just find a common activity, and when you guys both meet up together, you will have things in common to talk about. I remember when I was in college, it's like it was like if you go to the student union or like any public place like a library, you would always see like the group of students would be very similar to each other. So like all the black guys are together, all the white girls are together, all the white blondes are together, all the sophomores are together. It's like racial segregation at a to some level, but like no one is forcing someone to be like, oh, you're black, so that's why you need to sit there. It's like they just find things in common with each other. That's why they are hanging out with each other. So uh, not to say like you cannot make friends outside your race. That's kind of nuts. But but yeah, so making friends, the point I'm trying to make is like people are usually friends with other people who are similar to them. So ideally you find common things, meet other men you have something in common with. It could be as simple as you guys both go to the same class, you both work on you're both passionate about the same thing. Or in my case, I'm extremely passionate about self-development, and that's why I'm making this video. That's why I started my YouTube channel, to connect with other people who are also into self-development. Or you could join some boot camp, like a pickup boot camp. If you're into approaching women, doing cold approach, join a pickup boot camp, join some course where you can meet other guys who are into the same activity as you, and you connect with them, and you both go out and do that same activity. And during the rest time between, like when you're both not approaching, doing a debrief, that's when you connect with each other. So that's how you really build good friendships. You might connect with few guys, you might not connect with that many. You might be more close with some, not close with the others who are also into the same activity. But like that's how you actually get started. And once you meet one good guy, like he kind of introduces you to a bunch of other guys, and it's kind of like just exponentially goes up and up. So that's kind of how you recruit more people into your life. So I think those two things which I talked about. So like if you're feeling lonely, retrieve, or what's the word, revive your friend, revive the old relationship. You don't have to go in the extreme, but revive the old relationship, have them in the moderation. And number two, make new friends, not by, hey man, do you want to be my friend? That's not how you make new friends. Make new friends, bring new people into your circle by having something in common, and doing that activity together, and meet new people through the shared activity. And eventually what's likely to happen is like once you're into that activity, over time you grow as a person, you are no longer into that activity. But like, and that relationship you had with that person might fade away a little bit, but you still stay in contact with them. And you check in with them once in a while. So they move from a closer circle to like a little bit of a distant circle, but you still stay in contact. You catch up with them once a month or once in a quarter. But that's kind of like an higher idea. And you, the moment you change your life, the moment you pursue new things in your life, you see that new activity, and you bring in newer people into the circle again. So like that's kind of like how you maintain your social circle, and that's really how you feel not lonely. Definitely. So like the second one I talked about is kind of applies to both friendship, like male friendship, and also the like romantic relationship too. So like you're going out and doing blah 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 stuff like that. That's a whole video on how to meet women. Just go onto YouTube and search for it. But just to summarize back again, revive your old friendship and make new friends by shared activities. And please don't go up to guys and be like, hey, will you be my friend? Thanks.